Hi. Sorry. I've spent the past 2 weeks producing this video to get it perfect, to ask you a very important riddle. A lot of time and effort has gone into making this video. Okay, so I'm writing this short story for a sci-fi anthology competition thingamabob, for shits and giggles. There's a surprisingly complicated riddle in the second act that I wanted to bounce off a few of you. I emailed this earlier. Who would recognize its complexity. The winner of the best response can get their name in the story or an anagram version of it if you don't want your real name or your real username in the story. Are you zooming in on the reflection? You can see what time it was recorded. Okay, ready? Here goes. So you're somehow given the ability to see into the future. Yep, that's what I wrote. What you see is like memory. It's sparse and based on what you notice. So it's like based on what you consider to be salient. Whatever you notice becomes a constant, though. So that means it can no longer be changed. But everything else remains a variable, and so can be changed. But you can use the information, the things that are set in stone in the future, to decide on what you do in the present. Because of all this, there's no such thing as a paradox in this world. Fuck, did I say? This is for a short story. Yeah, I said that. Yeah, I said that. Very half-heartedly, but that's real. It's just a competition, so I haven't won it or anything yet. So you may not even win anything except for a good idea and some thinking, some reason to think, an excuse to think. Okay, so you just to clarify, you don't travel to the future, you just see the future from now, or here. But here's the most restrictive condition. You cannot just do any old thing with the information that you gather. If more than a certain threshold, in quotes, I'll continue. If more than a certain threshold of all the people on Earth would vote no on whatever action you decide to take, then you immediately lose the power before you can even do it. The problem with that, this is my first time reading. The problem is that without knowing the percent threshold, you're taking a gamble every time you don't act perfectly in line with absolutely everybody on the planet. So it would make sense to take risks, because then you could be. See, I can't put my values on you guys. There is the possibility of getting more gains, if you care less about what other people would vote you shouldn't do about. But if you accidentally trip that threshold, then you immediately lose the power. But if you stay above or below? If you stay below the threshold of people that say no to what you're doing, then you get to keep the power for as long as you want until you fulfilled everything. Well, you'll never fulfill all your dreams, or else you're just not being creative. Okay, so assuming that you do have the goal of keeping the power as long as possible, here are the two questions. What information would you seek out in the future? Because you could understand there would be consequences to just trying to check out everything, because then you wouldn't be able to do anything. You wouldn't be able to change anything, or less so as the more you saw. So what would you intelligently seek out in the future? And then what actions would you then take in the present based on that information that you have? Okay, the rules are set. Let the games begin. That's all. So just put it in the comments down below. I don't know what that means, but everyone says that. And then I've asked a lot of people to do this, but I'll be honest about whoever has the best idea. The judge is whoever inspires me the most. So yep. Comment your thoughts below. Goodbye.